Hello everyone, welcome to Court with Krissy. Here are 4 court shorts you probably didn't catch. And leading us off with her second court short appearance, she wasn't lying. The cops are obsessed with her. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
Okay, so the initial calling of the case, I will start with one last name, but then we're going to go forward with the defendant's preferred name. I obviously
Correct statement.
Zero issue whatsoever with that, and I have worked with Cavani Young previously. So 25-00605, People versus Pickett. But Mr. Gagnick, we have Cavani Young here, correct?
Correct statement. The court is accurate. I appreciate the courtesy, but no objection proceeded in either fashion. I think Cavani's in agreement. Judge, this is the first pretrial up. I believe we're in a position to get it resolved. I need to lean on Mr. Kaluzny a little bit better. So if the court would consider, I don't need a long adjournment, but any other date you want to reset it to, I imagine we can have it resolved.
Well, I certainly am sad to see that Ms. Young is back before the court. I'm hoping that this could be resolved in a way that will hopefully address whatever issues were going on and bring this to a close in an effective, long-term effective way. I don't want Ms. Young to continue to find her way into the court system. But Mr. Gagnick, I have a lot of confidence that you will find the best possible resolution for all parties involved. So I'll adjourn this 4 weeks. Obviously, the bond conditions continue, so we do not want any. I want to make sure that I have. So no alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal controlled substances. Do you understand that, Ms. Young?
Yes.
Okay. And no bars, no liquor stores, anything like that. So, we're in a circumstance where, we do not want to be around anything that could get in the way of healthy decision making. Okay.
Okay, but on a subject
Cavani, hang tight. You don't have to say anything. The judge is going to reset the date. I'll talk to you in private, okay?
Oh, okay. It wasn't about this case though, but okay.
It wasn't about this case?
No, it was because I had a question when it first happened, and they told me to ask you when I see.
So what?
Cavani, let me speak to you. Judge, if I may, I'd much rather take this up in private. I don't think it has any effect on what we're doing here today. Cavani, hang tight. I'll reach you by phone early afternoon, okay?
Okay.
You know me well enough, no, Mr. Gagnick. I'm always willing to offer assistance. But that being said, with you not knowing exactly what it is, Mr. Gagnick, I think it's probably best to
I've got a slight. I appreciate the court's caution. I've got a slight idea what it's going to be. Again, it's not going to affect the request for an adjournment.
Okay. All right. 4 weeks. We'll send notice.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody. Cavani, hang tight. I'm going to reach you by phone early afternoon, okay?
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. You're all set. You can log off.
All right. So we are back with that one. That one. All right. So we are back on the record with Mr. Isaac. Mr. Leisure, how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Isaac?
Your Honor, Mr. Isaac has indicated to me that he wanted to address the court and that he wanted to fire me as his attorney.
Okay, so Mr. Isaac, you are more than welcome to address the court, but I will tell you, the law has changed. So back when I was a public defender, I was appointed by the courts. And our legislation very wisely went on later to say the court should not have authority over who represents individuals because they shouldn't be able to pick and choose attorneys for defendants. Do you understand that? So the law changed and they required counties to set up public defender offices. So I have no authority to fire or hire attorneys for you. If you wish to no longer be represented by the public defender's office, you have two options. You can retain counsel or you can represent yourself. I think the quote is only a fool represents himself. And I will tell you, anytime I had a civil matter that I had to address, I usually sought out counsel of an attorney that specialized in that area. So I cannot fire Mr. Glazier. You can fire him, but then your options would be to hire an attorney or represent yourself again, which I never recommend anybody represent themselves. So is there anything you'd like to say to the court?
And when did this law come about, Ms. Henslow?
I can't hear you. Say it again.
When did this law come about?
I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. It's that room. So speak
He said,
slower and a little bit
he
louder.
said, when did this law come about?
I don't know, 8 years ago? I don't know. I've been a judge for 11, so after I became a judge. No, it was about right when I became a judge probably. And it was a good thing because judges shouldn't be able to dictate who represents somebody, you know? So what would you like to do, Mr. Isaac?
Well, I'm not going to represent myself. I'm not that done.
Okay, I will tell you as an attorney, I had a lot of clients that didn't like what I was saying. And, you know, an attorney's job is to be honest with you, and you may not like it or whatever it might be. So, let's back up a little bit. So, Mr. Hartung, has there been a plea offer made in this file?
There was on the file that has the criminal sexual conduct behavior. We were still working out a potential plea on the other file.
Okay, so there has been a plea offer made on one file and still working on a plea on another file. All right, so I guess at this point, what I can do, Mr. Isaac, as I said, I can't fire or hire an attorney, but I can adjourn this out for Mr. Glazier to continue working with Mr. Hartung. And then when some plea agreement has been made, he can bring that to you and discuss it with you. If you choose not to take it, we go to jury trial or bench trial, whatever you choose. So I can set this out like a couple weeks. Would that be all right, Mr. Isaac?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to set this out to September 3rd for a pretrial conference at 8:30 in the morning. And Mr. Glazier, obviously, if some resolution is made before that, I always appreciate if you come in on another day than Wednesday, because our Wednesdays are so busy. All right, so we'll see you back on.
This was an arraignment?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's an arraignment too. So Mr. Glazier, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, we waive that, Your Honor, and we'd ask the matter be enter plea of not guilty and set the matter for a pretrial, I guess, at this point.
All right, so enter plea of not guilty, and we'll see you back on that day for pretrial, September 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Isaac.
Thank you. Mr. Glazier, by chance, whenever you get done, can you come Zoom me, please?
I'll probably Zoom with you later this week. I don't know if it'll be today, but
All right, thank you.
it'll be this week.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, the next matter is Elizabeth Hostman and/or Thomas Serino versus Joseph and Kristen Walsh. That is file number 25-40663-LT set for a hearing today. I do see the Walshes and I do see Mr. Serino is with us. This appears to be a motion for installment payments made by the Walshes. So who would like, from the Walshes, who would like to tell me what it is that you're requesting and why?
I requested $150 a month to pay back what we owe.
And why do you believe that that would be appropriate?
I bring home $1,300 every 2 weeks. Once you get rent out of that, groceries and electric, gas. Gas for the vehicle. I've got an outgoing payment to the IRS every month, $61.
I read the numbers that you used in your motion, which said that your average income is 3,104 each
Okay, I'm
month.
sorry. I apologize. That's with Joe's Social Security.
All right, and then I added up all of the monthly payments that you said that you had, which would include the rent, utilities, child support, phone, cable, and internet bill, Capital One, Sparrow Hospital, auto and renters insurance, prescriptions, IRS, and waste management, and it came to a little over $2,200. So there's almost $900 still left over from that. Why should your payment be limited to $150 then?
Still got groceries out of that. So gas for the vehicle.
What happened to the $10,000 that you should have saved when you weren't paying rent for the number of months that you weren't paying rent for?
I was the only income during that time. That's why we got behind. He was off of work for a year before Social Security would give him his disability.
You're asking for almost 5.5 years to pay off your rent debt. $10,000 at $150 a month is going to take you 66.6 months to pay off. I don't find that to be reasonable.
What do you think is fair?
I'm not going to negotiate against you. This is your motion. I just told you $150 a month is not. Mr. Serino, do you have an answer?
Well, I did talk with my client, Your Honor, and can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I did talk with my client to make sure she was in agreement, and she would like $400 a month. We're both, my client and myself, well, I'm 78 and she's older than me, but we don't have a lot of time left, Your Honor, and to put it at 150 is not, one, appropriate, and two, it's discouraging, it's disappointing. She wants $400 a month. It's a very large bill, Your Honor. As Your Honor stated, it's going to take 66 months to pay it off at their rate, and we don't. Neither one of us want to be waiting that long for payments.
Ms. Walsh?
I don't even know. To get the place we're looking for, we're looking at paying almost $1,000 in rent.
And it's in Elmira.
In Elmira. Or $250.
Can I ask why you guys haven't contacted each other and talked about this to begin with? Why are we wasting the court's time negotiating?
I have no idea.
I don't either. That's why I asked the question. I mean, if you want something, you should be on the phone talking to Mr. Serino just about every day, saying this is what I can pay. This is why I can't pay $400. You got $500 down listed as rent in your request telling me what your bills are. You say you can get an apartment or get a place for $1,000. You still got $900 left over. That leaves you $500 or $400 to do whatever you need to do. I maybe you need to get a second job. I don't know. I'm not the one who made the decisions about not paying rent for however much time it was to rack up a $10,000 bill. But you had the opportunity. He gave you the time then. I don't know that he should have to give you more time now. I find that you've got the ability to make another $400 payment. You can either agree to $400 or you can allow Mr. Serino to garnish your wages at whatever he can get it for.
$100
Which do
is
you want?
fine.
I'm taking over the talking. You got her crying. Thanks a lot. $400 is fine. You get your money. You support the slumlord. Thanks a lot, sir. $400 is just fine.
Then that's
I'm
what it'll be.
taking over
Thank
the
you very much,
conversation.
sir.
She
We're
is
done.
crying.
Shut him,
She
please.
is crying.
We're done.
Non-suited and refile it again. That's what you want to do, Mr. Wenzel? Ms. McAlpin?
I mean, it seems like our course of action, only course of action, really.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. May we be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Are you related to Judy Newberry, Mr. Newberry?
Yes, sir, I am. Well, yes, sir.
Oh, what's your relationship? You her son?
No, sir. She is my cousin's mother. So Joe Newberry is also an attorney in town. That is her son.
Yeah, that's family law.
Yes, sir. But I was from a different branch of the tree. So she was married to my Uncle Brian, who had the pharmacy for the longest time. And then I'm from the branch that had the Texaco station. So the oldest sons got to take over the family business. The younger sons had to go and be lawyers. For better or for worse.
I have to say that was probably the most contentious divorce case I ever tried, was the Newberry divorce.
You were the judge for that case.
Well, every one of I was predominantly at that time doing criminal, but every one of the civil judges lived in West Austin and knew them and went to the pharmacy all the time, and none of them thought it'd be appropriate for them to try the case. So they asked me if I would try the case, and I had no idea what I was getting into, but it was a pretty unbelievable, ugly trial. It's probably as bad as it gets.
That was all before I really was old enough to remember any of it. And I will say that it feels like, my uncle passed away 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But I will say before he passed, it felt like the bridges were mended enough to be able to have everyone be in a good place for family events.
Well, that's amazing. From what I heard, I thought it was more likely that someone would be killing someone else in the future as opposed to mending bridges. Yeah, that was something else. Yeah, but anyway, I kind of figured you were somehow related to them.
That was back when Austin was a much smaller town.
Yeah, it certainly was. But anyway, I'm glad to see you're doing well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Your Honor, and thank you for letting us get this addressed. And we may be back in front of the court again, but we will try and engage outside of it to get this resolved.
I remember the first time I saw Judy Newberry, I was astounded that she'd become a lawyer. That was a shock to me. I looked up in the courtroom and recognized her. Said, "Oh my gosh." But anyway, okay, well, hope the rest of your day goes well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Sorry about all the technicalities and all this stuff.